On their first date, Matt and Giuliana met for dinner not so far from where they first danced, the Wilmington riverfront. Talking the night away, they ended up closing down the restaurant, the very last people to leave. As they walked to their cars, they noticed that they'd parked next to each other. And since it would have been a shame to end their night so soon, these two were lucky that Matt had planned ahead. His big plan? Hula hoops. Because nothing says romance like gymnastics after a nice seafood dinner. Well, against the odds, it paid off in an impromptu hooping contest. Word is, Matt let Jewel win. No. We can contest that later. So now we have our spark. But you have to tend to a spark. If you don't, it'll fizzle out before it ever has a chance to keep you warm. I think love is like that too. First, there's a spark, something bright and wonderful. But it's fragile, and if you're not careful, it'll disappear before your eyes. Love demands work, patience, and sacrifice to ensure that it survives and endures. 6 months after they met, Matt was scheduled for a 7-month tour abroad in Iraq. They talked, and he told her not to wait for him. After all, that's a big ask, even for a hula-hooping cool dancer. Giuliana agreed that was probably for the best. A tearful parting ensued in Matt's driveway, both hoping that perhaps their paths might cross again someday. Here again, luck intervenes. Matt's deployment preparations had gone well, and he had 4 days of leave before he shipped out. It was a long shot, but maybe. He called Giuliana and invited her to spend the break with him in Texas. Maybe it was because she truly missed him, or maybe she was just unemployed and had nothing going on for a long weekend. But either way, she agreed to meet him, and they spent a wonderful 4 days together. They agreed to stay in contact, and every day for 7 months, their long-distance romance blossomed. They talked back and forth all the way from the diplomatic support center in Baghdad to our parents' basement in Wilmington. To hear Giuliana tell the story, it felt like Matt was her best friend in the world. I remember when I first heard that Matt was moving away. Giuliana and Matt had been together for almost 2 years when work pulled them apart again. He was moving to Baltimore for a new job and would be living with his brother, Dave. Giuliana was working at a fast-paced job in Philadelphia. Distance tests us all, and that was no small task. It wouldn't have surprised me if the space between them became just too difficult to bear. And yet there was Matt braving the haunts of I-95 each week just to see her. This continued for about 6 months until Giuliana, unable to bear the thought of being away from her Matt, quit her job and moved down to Baltimore. I was impressed with Dave's hospitality. It was one thing to let your brother stay with you, but his girlfriend too? But no, of course, Giuliana and Matt were getting their own place, their first home together. I remember wondering if maybe Matt had lost his mind. You want to live with Giuliana? I mean, I had for years, but I was her brother and I didn't really have much choice in the matter. Don't get me wrong, my sister is a wonderful person. She is caring and insightful and genuinely one of the funniest people I've ever known. But she can be, how do I say this? Opinionated, passionate. No, that doesn't quite do it justice. Giuliana is steadfast in her convictions, something I'm pretty sure she got from her Aunt Rita. To her credit, she's often correct, but it can make her difficult to live with. I was concerned that maybe, perhaps, possibly, living with Giuliana might fray at someone's better nature, even a person as patient and empathetic as Matt. My sister and I occasionally grabbed lunch together to catch up. We hadn't seen each other in a while, and I was looking forward to hearing about the move. I asked her about her new life in Baltimore and expected the usual gripes that come when two people's lives suddenly run up against one another's. Instead, she gushed about how Matt's laugh could put her at ease when she was upset, and how his eyes would light up whenever she got excited about something. I think it was at that point I knew these two would be all right. They put in the work and made the kind of sacrifices you only consider when you truly care for someone, to keep their fire alive and burning through the night. That has to be love, right? I remember the day that Matt asked Giuliana to marry him. He had let us in on the secret a few weeks earlier, and he had actually learned enough Italian to ask my parents for their hand in marriage. Her hand in marriage. Dad was over the moon when Mom finally relayed the message. Matt was going to pop the question on Christmas Eve in front of their family and friends. He looked so nervous that day. We all spent the afternoon trying to keep Giuliana's attention as Matt was heavy breathing in the kitchen and looking like he might get sick. The look on Giuliana's face when Matt's folks came to the door was priceless. The perfect mix of joy and bewilderment. As she turned around, Matt got down on one knee, his mind racing to remember every detail of the speech he'd prepared. If I recall correctly, he told Giuliana, "You've brought out the best of me since the moment you danced into my life." She said, "What?" about 10 times, but the look on her face was the happiest I'd ever seen. I think the truth is that you bring out the best in each other. And that brings us back to our fire, now burning so bright and hot that even the fiercest wind and rain couldn't dampen its glow. If you're lucky enough to find someone whose love keeps you warm in the cold, make sure that you keep that fire burning. It's worth all the effort because love is essential. It brings out the best in all of us. And now, your main event. Sean, may we have the rings? Good job remembering those. Matt, please place your ring on Giuliana's hand. You got it. And Giuliana, please place your ring on Matt's hand. Matt, if you will please repeat after me. Giuliana, I take you to be my wife.
Giuliana, I take you to be my wife.
To love you with all of my heart.
To love you with all of my heart.
To share with you all of my soul.
To share with you all of my soul.
To grow with you.
To grow with you.
Through all of my days.
Through all of my days.
As long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live.
Now, Giuliana, please repeat after me. Matt, I take you to be my husband. To love you with all of my heart. To share with you all of my soul. To grow with you through all of my days. As long as we both shall live. Now, Matt, do you take Giuliana to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Good. Giuliana, do you take Matt to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Good job. Then by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Matt, you may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and greet your newlyweds, Matt and Giuliana.
I'm not gonna cry. Joel, I've always admired you for your generosity, sense of humor, and adventurous spirit. I'm so lucky that I never had to live more than a month without you as my best friend. Matt, I'm so happy that Jewel has you for the rest of her life. Someone who I know will love her unconditionally and treat her exactly as she deserves. I know you see that there is no one in the world quite like her, and I'm confident you will always let her light shine. You are all the things I hope for my best friend and more, and I'm so grateful that you found her. So it's clear that you two are crazy about each other, and I can't wait to witness the many more years of love, happiness, and memories that you're going to build together. So if everyone could raise a glass to the happy couple. We love you so much. Cheers!
And one thing that stuck out with Matt is that he never ran from a bad situation. He always stuck around to make sure that everyone was okay. I think it was this adventurous spirit that made Giuliana just immediately attracted to Matt. Because honestly, who's gonna withstand if someone whips out a Pokemon card up apart and pick up line and not run away? You're my Pollywood. Yeah, most people just turn tail and run, but Giuliana didn't. And honestly, I've never seen Matt immediately enamored over someone so fast. And the weird thing is, Giuliana became just as obsessed. So when you first meet Matt, most people think he's just some big goof who likes to yell for Gondor or Blue Eyes White Dragon, some DBZ lore, something fun like that. But once you actually get to know Matt, he's deceptively amazing. Some of his best qualities you'll never really know until you actually get to meet him. He's aggressively kind, aggressively friendly. He goes through the biggest effort for even the smallest things. He can turn any bad situation to a delightful skit or just a strangely odd experience that wasn't half bad. And the more time I think Giuliana spent with Matt, I think the more you realize this. And you two have such a great relationship, such a great appreciation for each other. You know, even when it comes down to just the small things like buying flowers or, just being a little ridiculous sometimes, because we all need to do that sometimes. You guys are like bees and flowers. Individually, you're so special and so amazing, but together you guys make something absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And all of a sudden, the world makes sense. You guys have tested your relationship through so much. You guys had military deployment you had to deal with. You guys went through the pandemic together. You guys bought a house together. You guys put on this gorgeous wedding. Together, there's nothing you two couldn't do together.
I've been dreaming to wake up next to you every morning. A kiss out of the blue. I've been waiting for you my whole life, and this moment made it worth the time. My heart's been longing for belonging. can't believe